Hello, and welcome to this presentation on the Industrial Revolution, the topic of my MAPS project. I am John Wanzer. You can feel free to email me at any time if you have any questions about the presentation, and you'll see my email address again at the end. First, I want to talk about the subject and focus, along with the context for my project. The beginning of the Industrial Revolution is the primary subject. The area of focus is a little bit narrower. It's not only the time frame, but also the Blackstone River Valley near Pawtucket, Rhode Island. Events were taking place elsewhere, but Pawtucket and the Blackstone River Valley have a particular role in the Industrial Revolution. The concentration of events that would take place there that would cause changes across the country as far as industrialization would take place, and Slater and Slater's mill in particular had certain impacts. And these are in my presentation, or rather in my map project. The goal for my project was mainly to present changes in culture that made the Industrial Revolution possible in the first place. A willingness to shift from agrarian to urban environments was a big key to that. Also, the cultural changes that accompany the Industrial Revolution. This would be things where people were leaving agrarian areas, not only to the urban environment, but even into company towns where the company owned pretty much everything, and people paid for those resources out of their salary that they got from the company. Technologies, there were key events and technologies that allowed the Industrial Revolution to begin in the first place. The cotton gin was a fantastic tool, but until power systems were in place to really expand the cotton gin, and for transportation to expand to be able to allow transport of raw goods and finished materials, these technologies were present, but they weren't expanded or changed enough, evolved enough to really allow the Industrial Revolution to take place. So I want to present those technologies in their time frames and how they made a change to the overall Industrial Revolution, allowed it to continue. And most of all, I want to encourage discussion about the three elements: society, technology, and business. When those three things interact, that's where we have major change. If you don't have all three of those things taking place, if technologies, you have a new technology but nobody's willing to use it, it doesn't really change anything. And if you don't have an industry that can take a technology and actually develop it and produce it and transport it, you don't really have much. So all three of those things have to be present. And of course, this is presented in the past with the Industrial Revolution taking place in Pawtucket. But it also has relevance to us for the present and future. And so I want to encourage discussions about those three things: technology, business, and society, in the past and the present and future. I think that's an important element. So this comes to, why is the Industrial Revolution what does it matter? And really, it's because the Industrial Revolution sets the stage and creates an environment for the successive eras to take place. The Civil War. The Industrial Revolution has a huge impact on the Civil War, just in cotton alone, and there are other directions to take that as well. Of course, the Gilded Age, which is the wealth that was built by a small number of people because of the Industrial Revolution. The Progressive Era comes about because of the failure of industry and government to protect the worker. And all sorts of programs begin to take place there. And of course, that wealth disparity and things that are taking place also lead to the Great Depression. So all of these eras are directly impacted based on what happens during the Industrial Revolution. So it matters a lot. And I think study of the Industrial Revolution can help put together the progressions that take place in people's minds. If they understand what happened during the Industrial Revolution, they can take that and apply those progressions to what we see today in income disparity. And it's been said on numerous occasions by many people that we're entering a second Gilded Age. And so understanding the progressions of events, I think, can be very useful for study of the current events and also for what will happen what may happen in the future. Key takeaways from the Industrial Revolution, this particular project. I think the main takeaways are society's acceptance and receptiveness to industrialization for it to begin with, and then for it to allow it to continue. So society's involvement in both ends of that, the front end and the back end, those are both very important. And of course the technologies that needed to exist for industrialization: power, transportation, and communication. And we can say most industries depend on those three things. They require power. We're going through a green power development right now, and that's really important moving forward. That will power our next industrial revolution, and it may in fact be its own industrial revolution. Transportation has become a big thing, and also this ties to the greening of industry, but it also in general, if you don't have workers, if you don't have transportation. And then communications, which changes that dynamic, which we saw during COVID. So those three elements, power, transportation, and communication, they needed to exist for the Industrial Revolution to happen. They also work together very closely as we move forward in time into other industrial revolutions. I want to thank you for listening to my presentation. I hope you enjoy my project moving forward. And if you have any questions, by all means, feel free to email me. Thank you very much. Have a great day.